Hello, welcome back. This episode is for adult English learners who want to use English, not just study it, to have an actual practice today. So, today is our BBB 26 gossip report, a clear recap of the week with guided speaking practice. So, one rule you don't need to understand every word to understand the story. Focus on meaning, focus on the logic. Short answers are welcome. Control is better than complexity, okay? And let's go. This first week felt like a season inside one week. It started with game, power, then it moved it to health, then it turned it into gossip, and then it became something much heavier about boundaries, respect, and consequences. Let's begin with the white room and the price of endurance. Before the house even fully settled, there was a brutal endurance dynamic, the white room. 9 people entered that space. They stayed there for more than 120 hours. That is not a normal test. That is survival mode. And at the end, one of them, Rafaela, felt sick. She said she was going to faint and then collapsed. She received medical attention and then the dynamic ended after 120 hours. When you watch something like that, it stops being like just entertainment. It becomes a mirror. It makes us to stop and think because many honest people in Brazil already live in endurance mode, working too much, sleeping too little, carrying stress quietly. In the white room, it is a game. Outside, for many people, it is real life. First big game moment, the first leader, that was Cowboy, who conquered in a long endurance challenge, which we could see that it changed a little the mood between him and Jonas. Sometimes small things can get personal, even when nobody says it directly. We felt the tension growing. And then the week had a serious moment. During the leader challenge, Henrique Castelli had a convulsive episode. It became a major topic online, with many people asking if it was safe and how it was handled. This is the uncomfortable truth of live TV. When something happens in real time, people ask, who is responsible? Who should stop it? What is the show and what is human life? We start questioning a lot of things. Let's talk a little bit about the first angel and the surprising choice. So, back to the game. Jonas won the first angel and then he faced a choice. He could pick a strong game advantage that was immunizing an extra person or choose love. And he chose to watch a family video. He chose love. And some people saw it as beautiful, some people saw it as naive. How did you see it? And that is BBB logic, okay? One decision becomes a label. There is no wrong answer here, okay? Then came the party, and the internet was waiting for the same thing it always waits for, the first kiss. The first kiss of BBB 26 was Breno and Marcelo during the first party, during Anita's show. The internet exploded because first kiss always becomes a symbol. Like now the game literally started. Then later, Jonas and Maxiani also kissed, and suddenly the house had another ship. In reality TV, small moments become big stories because people love a storyline. And we had some flirting energy during the days, and in the middle of that romantic energy, we got a classic moment. Jonas said he prefers brunettes. Ana Paula joked about hair dye, like, give me some hair dye, BBB. It's playful, but people treat it like narrative evidence because in BBB, jokes become headlines. Headlines become pressure sometimes. Inside the house, Ana Paula Renault and Aline Campos reopened an argument that started years ago. It began with Ana Paula criticizing a look Aline wore at Prêmio Multishow back in 2016. And the feeling was like Ana Paula claiming she hasn't changed. And BBB loves a storyline. The conflict didn't stay in the past, it followed them into the present, and they had this conversation during this week. The house gave people exactly what they wanted, a simple fight that becomes symbolic. Yes, eggs. There was tension in the ship over dividing eggs, and it became another are you selfish or fair moment. Here is the social lens that I want to bring it on to you. When people fight over basic food, you see a cruel cut of reality. Scarcity changes behavior. Stress shrinks patience. And survival mode creates conflict. In BBB, it is entertainment. In the real world, it can be daily life. And in the middle of all that, the house also had emotional noise. Milena has been seen by many viewers as someone who cries a lot. In a house full of pressure, crying can be real and also exhausting for everyone around. And sometimes the question is not, is this person wrong? Sometimes the question is, how long can a group live with this emotional temperature? Because it is energy draining, right? Now, the hardest part of the week, Pedro became a central name for all the wrong reasons. First, he kept repeating personal stories, including claims about cheating, and the internet reacted strongly. At some point, Jonas warned him to stop exposing his personal life. The logic was simple. When you repeat a story, you don't just share, you build a public identity. Then the situation escalated. There was an incident involving an accusation of harassment inside the house, involving Jordana. After the situation, Pedro pressed the quit button and left the program. Outside the house, there were consequences too. According to reports, Pedro's wife, Raine Luiza, removed photos with him from her social media after the repercussion. Now, listen carefully. This matters beyond BBB. This is a serious reminder for men. Do not confuse politeness with flirting. A woman being friendly, it's not an invitation. A smile is not a consent. Being nice is not asking for it. And don't use I misunderstood as an excuse to ignore a clear boundary. Respect is not a mood, respect is a decision. This week was messy, but it also became a public lesson. Actions have consequences inside the house and outside it. By week one, the outside world always starts labeling people fast. The plant, who is quiet, low impact, has no storyline. The darlings, the protected favorite ones. And the villains, the public targets. These labels can be unfair early on, but once a label sticks, it spreads. That's the real BBB machine. Not only the house, but the audience story. Let's jump into the guided active practice of today's episode. So please answer out loud the question number one. How long did the white room last? Pause the video and answer. The answer. It lasted more than 120 hours. Question number two. Who collapsed in the white room? Answer. Rafaela collapsed and received medical attention. Question number three. Was Henri Castelli's moments funny or serious? The answer, it was a serious moment. Question number 4. Who won the first Angel? Question number 6. Who had the first kiss of the season? The answer, Breno and Marcelo. Question number 7. Who kissed Jonas at the party? The answer, Maxiani. Question number 8. Did Pedro stay in the game or quit? The answer, he quit and left the program. When you feel lost, borrow this structure. X happened because da-da-da, and now da-da-da, da-da-da. So now pause it to summarize one story from this episode in one sentence, two sentences, make it simple, make it with extra details. I'm going to give an example answer to you. Pedro left the show because the situation escalated and now the public is discussing boundaries and consequences. We're going to have a vocabulary exercise. I'm going to say a word from the topic and you're going to try to explain in a simple way. The first word, endurance. Staying strong for a long time. Tension. Stress between people. Responsible. Having duty, accountability. Scarcity. Scarcity. Not enough for everyone. Headline. The story everyone repeats. Backfire. It harms you. Damage control. Trying to reduce harm. Oversharing. It's when you're sharing too much. Accountability. Owning consequences. This week wasn't just drama, it showed something real. Pressure reveals character, and boundaries reveal values. In English, in life, and in relationships, clarity protects people. You don't need perfect words, you need clear meaning. One idea at a time. Breathe. Be patient with yourself. Until next time, one story at a time. Bye bye.